Good evening. My name is Odie Hawkins, and once again, I'm going to be reading to you columns that I wrote for the African Times newspaper from the years 1996 to 1998. And I open with the fan because we just received this beautiful fan and some other clothing items from our friend in Ghana, Leonard Kennedy. Medase, my brother, Medase. Oiwaladon. I don't know any other language you put it in, other than gracias. Gracias. Leonard is a precious friend, and he does things like send you beautiful reminders of our time in Ghana. It's not hot here, but I'm going to fan away the bad vibes. And before I start reading, I don't know what to say. When you receive friends or gifts from friends from long ago, 20 years ago, and Leonard continues to send us remnants, reminders of the times that Salena-Hawkins and I had in Ghana in 2013 and 2014. Okay, now down to the business at hand.
Down to the business at hand.
Down to the business at hand. This particular column is called The Changing Faces of Africa, and you'll see what it's about when I start reading. We stared at the television, frowning and groaning. Nigeria is losing to that little country down there in South America, and then it was losing to that small strip of a country in Scandinavia. World Cup time. Well, let's pray that the political situation improves, that it winds up being better than these games. The person who expressed this sentiment took a deep breath and held it for an unreasonably long time. Fascinating country, Nigeria. There are days when it seems that the whole place is going to disintegrate, but then the same might be said of Ireland or Spain or what used to be Yugoslavia and or Israel, Palestine. Israel's Palestine. Amazingly, countries, large and small, all over the planet, show a remarkable ability to survive and eventually to thrive. It's all about the people who make the country, not the politicians or the scientists. And it's a well-known fact that the Nigerians are an incredibly resilient people. They shall overcome. On the other side, Mebrathon Kevliksi, an Eritrean distance runner, winner of 4 NCAA individual championships in 1997, and received the inaugural Carl Lewis Award as the nation's outstanding collegiate male track and field athlete in June 1997, became a U.S. citizen the other day. I got choked up on that because that's the way he runs. He will represent the United States in international competition for the first time in the Goodwill Games in New York in July 1998. What's the saying? If you can't beat them, buy them. Even if it means giving them a green card to run. Bang. Can't come across the Rio Grande and wade through barbed wire, but you can run. If you can run, we'll help you. Up there in the northern corner of Africa, that most of us who are not Muslims don't pay a lot of attention to, people are suffering. People are suffering. And the nasty bit of strife that causes whole villages to have their throats cut, slit, by the fundamentalists who do not want a secular state. We are witnessing what happens in the world when the most powerful feel no vested interest in what is happening. Inshallah, huh? And what's the deal with Kabila? We haven't heard much about how the new regime is faltering or succeeding. Or is the data from the CIA coming in slower than usual? Hey Bob, what's the deal with this guy? We got another Mobutu or what? Well, the world is that he's into palm wine and broads. Think we ought to spike him with a blonde? Not yet. Let's give him a couple more months to settle in. Fictional scenario? Maybe, perhaps. Question: should Clinton make monthly visits to the motherland? Well, a quick survey of all hands, all brands say, yeah. If it will focus attention on African environmental issues that will always impact the planet eventually, the whole planet. Whatever happens in Africa will happen around the world. Environmental issues cannot simply be concerns about how many trees somebody just chopped down or the terrible disregard for the need for fresh air, water, and untainted food. It must take into consideration the medical apartheid that explicitly says it's not good enough for us, dump it on them. The industrialized attitude that fights the tobacco cartels at home but ignores the new pollution grounds, Africa, Asia, innocence abroad. And as female circumcision and is female circumcision an environmental issue? If the women of all countries are responsible for the recreation of humanity, shouldn't they be offered the same considerations that we give a tree or a bird or any other endangered species? It is not about what a collection of women said, it's about what a collection of men have been saying that women have been forced to listen to. Finally, wouldn't it be great, wonderful, and overpowering, empowering in many ways, if the 50 old embassies, African embassies, consulates, reps in the United States put their heads together and promoted African-American solidarity on a daily basis? If there are any questions about how this could be done, contact Odie Hawkins. If there are any questions about this, contact Odie Hawkins. Media Watch, the African Times. One of the first things I do is remove Magic Johnson from his disastrous talk show slot and beg him to feature at least one African American film a week before, during, and after February. Mimba. Bright moments.
Bright moments.
Bright moments. I didn't mean to get a little bit wired up there, but sometimes it's
I know. Well, your website is www.odiehawkins.com, and that's Odie, not other ways that it's pronounced.
How do you think your new camera angle is going to affect this?
I hope to the betterment. Little bit of difference is always appreciated. Okay. And with that,
Yes.